I'm Colin Rock. I wrote Songs for Joss, which is a song diary covering over 40 years, writing one song per year for my wife. And, plan is that I'm sure you already know this, I mentioned two songs each one of these podcasts. And I just think to myself that I've actually learned to quite like doing these podcasts. There's not much to them, but somehow I feel that it keeps me a little more in contact with Joss, just talking about her and thinking about the songs and so on. And it also gives me something to do, because you do tend to get a bit isolated when you're old and you're not working or don't have much of a social life, which is my own fault, of course. I don't like joining things, and enough of that. So the first song I'm going to mention is "You Push My Button," and this goes back. Joss and I, of course, been together for a long time. And back in the day, we didn't have cell phones. Of course, we only had the phone that you leave a message on the answering phone. That was a big deal. And you were never lucky enough to find them at home, so you'd leave a message on the answering phone. They get back to you. They'd be on your answering phone and back and forth and so on. And that was part of the way it was. I remember the excitement when we got our first fax machine. I was working with film crews at the time. I needed. Fax was such a handy thing to have. I was able to get permissions and lists of things. It was absolutely marvellous. Not long after that, of course, we got a car phone, and then the big old square cell phones. They hardly ever worked anywhere, where I was at in the country. But later on, cell phone towers, became more prevalent, and the smaller phones came. Made a hell of a difference. It makes you think how fast technology has come in my lifetime. I mean, I know I'm sort of quite old, but I've seen a lot of things. I used to work at the university bookshop. I always remember the first time I was, assistant manager there, and I was working in the stationery department, and first time we got a programmable calculator in, and all the engineering guys, very nerdy, came in and were lined up for hours just to have a go at this little Hewlett and Packard programmable calculator. And it was the start, I suppose, of the handheld computer, which only a few years later we all had them, didn't we? Really. So this song was it was just a lot of fun. We belted it out, and we sang it many times over the years, but only once to be recorded. But this is one of the few times that we put it on Facebook, actually, because we enjoyed it so much. And our friends said how much they liked the fact that we were enjoying singing it. So this, You Push My Button. The second song I wrote was Night Shift. Was it called Night Shift? Yeah. I actually wrote that after I was working with the Sultan of Brunei. He and his mob came over for a CHOGM conference, which is the Commonwealth Heads of Government in Auckland. And the lawyer that I knew rang up and said, would you like to have a go, working night shifts? And well, why not? It was pretty unusual. And it was outrageous, really. I mean, these guys, it was pure decadence as far as I could see. They could afford it, of course, so why not? They bought three houses, and they knocked down one. I mean, expensive houses too. They knocked down one just in case, and I built some sort of tennis court or something just in case the Sultan wanted to play, didn't. And the second house was a backup kitchen, very flash, and our house had the main kitchen, so it had a whole crew of chefs, and they never used it. And in fact, they brought over from Germany. They imported some flash Mercedes cars, very expensive, to Auckland just to use. Then they discovered they were going down to Queenstown as well, so they duplicated the order and got them from Germany down there. I don't know what ever happened to those cars. Well, they must be still lying around somewhere, I guess. It turns out that Sultan and his brother Jeffrey, and of course there are many hangers-on, when they walked through a room, when I walked through a door, they had to have a little gold thing up in the corner of the door. I don't know what you call that. So we had little chunks of gold put everywhere. Gold toilet. Terrible, isn't it? Because they never stayed there, they ended up going to the, or at least the Sultan went to the hotel with the rest of the mob. Then they flew down to South Island, and so, waste of time really. But we had Gurkhas, the security guys. They were hanging around where I was, and they were. We had two ex-SAS chaps from English ones, who were in charge of it all. I spent a lot of time talking to them. I'm from Hereford, so I know a wee bit about the SAS. They used to be in Craden Hill, and is part of the fabric of our existence. Knowing all about the SAS, I almost felt like a SAS guy myself. So anyway, when I got back from that, because working night shift is an unusual thing. You're isolated, but you also feel a bit smug and special because you're just working with a small team when there's no one else around. It's a strange feeling. So I'd write a song called Night Shift. The trouble is I didn't like the song. Richard Spencer did it. It was quite slick and all that, but I can't warm to the song. And the first song I mentioned, You Push My Button, is it's just a raucous whole thing. Joss and I bashing it out. So this is not actually a very great podcast, this one. Anyway, there we go. That's what you got.
Anticipation when I pick up the phone. I can hardly wait because I'm feeling alone. I think she's gonna like it. I think she's gonna like it today. I finally thought of something good to say. You push my button, but you never push the button on the phone. You push my button, but you never push the button on the phone. You push my button, but you never push the button on your phone.
I made a call to Colin, but he wasn't home. I had to leave a message on his answering phone. It's very hard to reach you, you're never, ever, ever home when I call. I don't believe you care for me at all.
You push my button, but you never push the button on the phone. You push my button, but you never push the button on the phone. You push my button, but you never push the button on your phone. I made a call to Jocelyn, but she wasn't home. I was sort of hoping that maybe this time I'll wait until tomorrow, but the night is gonna feel so long. I need you here with me, and it feels so wrong. And so I made a call to Jocelyn, I wish you were home. I'm gonna leave a message on your answering phone. Jocelyn, I love you, absolutely nothing has changed. We'll have to get together as a race, because you push my button, but you never push the button on the phone. You push my button, but you never push the button on the phone. You push my button, but you never push the button on the phone. You push my button, but you never push the button on the phone. You push my button, but you never push the button on your phone. That'll do.
cold at 4 a.m. The city streets are quiet then. The heavy beat of the emptiness inside. Another hour of sunrise. The clock is ticking slowly. The calendar is sliding down the wall. Some things are too easy to recall. Work the night shift when you're lonely. Work the night shift when you're only marking time. Work the night shift when you're lonely. Work the night shift when you're only marking time. Close your eyes against the dawn. The day is darker than the night. The memory is burning like a fire. Another time, another place, another life, another face. The shining mirror of your eyes, holding to the image as it dies. Work the night shift when you're lonely. Work the night shift when you're only marking time. Work the night shift when you're lonely. Work the night shift when you're only marking time. For on a night like this, she said goodbye. On a night like this, she said her last goodbye. Work the night shift when you're lonely. Work the night shift when you're only marking time. Work the night shift when you're lonely. Work the night shift when you're only marking time. Work the night shift when you're lonely. Work the night shift when you're only marking time. Work the night shift when you're lonely. Work the night shift when you're